February 8, 1992. Andrei Chikatilo, the butcher of Rostov, is executed by a single bullet to the back of the head. Before his death, he spent 2 years in a prison so brutal that even he, a man who murdered and cannibalized 52 people, begged for mercy. That prison still exists. Black Dolphin. In the remote Russian town of Solilets, 700 of Russia's worst serial killers, cannibals, and mass murderers are locked away forever. Not in cells, in concrete tombs. They will never see daylight again, never speak to another human, never look a guard in the eye. This is the story of Yuri Mikhaylov, a man convicted of killing and eating parts of 9 victims. He's been inside Black Dolphin for 14 years. Today, we're going to walk through a single day in his life. And what you're about to see will prove that some prisons aren't designed for rehabilitation. They're designed to erase you while you're still breathing. Before we step inside the most brutal prison on earth, you need to subscribe right now. I cover the darkest true crime stories from around the world, and Black Dolphin is unlike anything you've ever seen. Hit that like button, because this one's going to haunt you. 90% of you aren't subscribed yet. Change that. Now, let's enter Black Dolphin. Black Dolphin Prison. Official name: Penal Colony Number 6, IK6. Location: Soliletsk, Orenburg Oblast, Russia. Built in the 1700s as a fortress. Converted into a prison in the Soviet era. Today, it holds 700 of Russia's most dangerous criminals. Not drug dealers. Not thieves. Monsters. Serial killers who've murdered dozens. Cannibals who've eaten their victims. Terrorists who've bombed schools. Pedophiles who've destroyed hundreds of lives. Every single inmate at Black Dolphin has a life sentence. No possibility of parole. No possibility of release. They will die here. The prison is surrounded by 5 layers of security. Razor wire. Electric fences. Guard towers with snipers. Motion sensors. Attack dogs. No one has ever escaped Black Dolphin. No one ever will. The guards don't call the inmates by their names. They call them by numbers. Because at Black Dolphin, you're not human anymore. You're cargo. And cargo doesn't deserve dignity. Yuri Mikhaylov. Born 1971 in Perm, Russia. Grew up in a broken home. Alcoholic father. Absent mother. By age 16, he was living on the streets. Stealing. Fighting. Surviving. At 23, he committed his first murder. A homeless man. Yuri stabbed him in an alley and stole his jacket. But then something happened. Something twisted inside Yuri's mind. He cut off a piece of the man's thigh. Cooked it over a fire. Ate it. He said later it made him feel powerful. In control. Alive. Over the next 8 years, Yuri killed 9 people. All homeless. All vulnerable. All cannibalized. He was arrested in 2002 after police found human remains in his apartment. Bones. Skin. Tissue stored in the freezer. At trial, Yuri showed no remorse. When asked why he ate his victims, he said, "Because I was hungry, and they were already dead." The judge sentenced him to life at Black Dolphin. Yuri arrived in 2003. He's been there for 21 years. He will die there. 5 a.m. Black Dolphin. A buzzer sounds throughout the isolation wing. Wake up. Yuri's cell is 6 feet by 9 feet. Concrete walls. Concrete floor. Concrete ceiling. No windows. A single dim fluorescent bulb burns 24 hours a day. The bed is a concrete slab with a thin foam mat. There's a metal toilet and sink combo in the corner. No seat. No privacy. Nothing else. Yuri has been in this cell for 14 years. He sleeps facing the wall because if he faces the door, the guards write him up for threatening behavior. He stands. His joints crack. He's 46 years old but looks 60. Prison has aged him like nothing else. He does 50 push-ups, then 50 sit-ups. This is his routine. Every morning. For 14 years. It's the only thing he controls. 6 a.m. Yuri hears boots in the corridor. His cell door opens. 2 guards stand outside. They don't speak. They don't make eye contact. Black Dolphin has a rule. Guards never look inmates in the eyes. Eye contact is humanizing. And these men are not human. Hands behind your back. Face the wall, a guard commands. Yuri obeys. His hands are cuffed behind him. Then a black cloth hood is placed over his head. He can't see anything. Bend over. Walk. This is Black Dolphin's protocol. Every time an inmate leaves his cell, even to walk 10 feet, he must be hooded, handcuffed, and bent at a 90-degree angle. Why? To disorient. To dehumanize. To remind him he is nothing. Yuri shuffles forward, bent over, unable to see. A guard grabs his arm and pulls him down the corridor. He has no idea where he's going. He's done this walk thousands of times. He still doesn't know the layout of the prison. That's the point. Yuri is led to an inspection room. The hood is removed. The room is blindingly bright. White walls. White floor. White ceiling. Fluorescent lights everywhere. After the darkness of his cell, it's painful. Strip, the guard commands. Yuri removes his prison uniform. Gray shirt. Gray pants. Stands naked in the center of the room. The guards inspect him. Check his mouth. Behind his ears. Between his toes. They're looking for contraband. Weapons. Anything. They find nothing. They always find nothing. But they check anyway. Every single day. For 14 years. Bend over. Spread. Yuri complies. The cavity search is quick. Humiliating. Routine. When it's done, he's given his uniform back. The hood goes on again. The walk continues. He still doesn't know where he's going. Yuri is led back to his cell. The hood is removed. The door slams. He's alone again. 10 minutes later, a slot at the bottom of the door opens. A tray slides through. Breakfast. A chunk of black bread. A bowl of thin porridge made from buckwheat. A cup of weak tea. This is breakfast. It's also lunch. And dinner. The menu never changes. Yuri sits on his concrete bed and eats slowly. The food is tasteless. But he eats every bite. In Black Dolphin, you eat what you're given. Or you starve. He finishes in 15 minutes. The tray sits by the door. He's not allowed to pass it back through. A guard will collect it later. Yuri lies back on his bed. He stares at the ceiling. There's a water stain in the corner. It looks like a face. He's been staring at it for 14 years. It's the only company he has. 9 a.m. Silence. Total silence. In Black Dolphin, inmates are not allowed to speak. Not to guards. Not to each other. If they speak, they're punished. Solitary confinement within solitary confinement. Reduced food rations. Beatings. Yuri hasn't had a conversation in 14 years. He talks to himself sometimes. Whispers. Mutters. The guards don't care as long as he's quiet. He recites things he remembers. Poems from school. Song lyrics. His mother's voice. Most of it is fading. Memory doesn't work well in isolation. The brain needs stimulation, conversation, interaction. Without it, memories dissolve like salt in water. Yuri can't remember his mother's face anymore. He knows he had a mother. He knows she existed. But her face is gone, erased by silence. Once a month, a psychologist visits Black Dolphin. Dr. Anya Petrova. She's been doing this for 8 years. She interviews inmates to assess their mental state. It's a formality. The Russian government requires it. But nothing ever changes. Yuri's cell door opens. Dr. Petrova enters. A guard stands just outside. She sits on a small plastic stool. Yuri remains on his bed. "How are you feeling today, Yuri?" she asks. He stares at her. He hasn't spoken to another human in 30 days. His voice is hoarse. The same. Dr. Petrova writes in her notebook. "Any suicidal thoughts?" "Every day." She writes that down too. "Do you regret your crimes?" Yuri pauses. He's been asked this question 100 times. The answer is always the same. No. Dr. Petrova closes her notebook. "Thank you, Yuri." She leaves. The door closes. Yuri is alone again. That was his human contact for the month. 15 minutes. In 30 days, she'll come back. Ask the same questions. Get the same answers. Nothing will change. 1 p.m. Exercise time. Yuri hears the boots. The door opens. The routine repeats. Hood. Handcuffs. Bent over. Walk. He's led outside. When the hood is removed, he's standing in a concrete box. 10 feet by 10 feet. 30-foot walls on all sides. A chain link ceiling above. Through the chain link, he can see the sky. Gray. Cloudy. Cold. This is the only time Yuri sees the sky. 1 hour per day. He walks in circles. Around and around the perimeter of the box. Counting his steps. 100. 200. 500. There's nothing else to do. No equipment. No weights. Just concrete and sky. After exactly 60 minutes, the guards return. Hood. Handcuffs. Bent over. Walk. Back to the cell. The door slams. Exercise is over. Yuri lies on his bed. Eyes closed. He tries to remember what freedom felt like. The smell of rain. The sound of traffic. The taste of real food. It's all fading. The brain, deprived of sensory input, starts to forget. Neuroscientists call it sensory deprivation syndrome. The brain needs stimulation to function. Without it, memories decay. Hallucinations begin. Reality blurs. Yuri remembers his fourth victim. A woman. Late 30s. He doesn't remember her name. He remembers her fear. He remembers the knife. He remembers the taste. He shakes his head. He doesn't want to remember that. But it's all he has left. The violence. The horror. It's the only part of his past that remains vivid. Because it was the only time he felt alive. 5 p.m. The food slot opens. Another tray. Black bread. Porridge. Tea. Yuri eats. The routine is identical to breakfast. He doesn't taste the food anymore. It's just fuel. When he's done, he places the tray by the door. He drinks the tea slowly, making it last. When the cup is empty, the day is essentially over. There's nothing left to do. Just wait for sleep. Just wait for tomorrow. Just wait to die. Yuri hears something. A sound from the cell next to his. A cough. Someone is there. He's known this for years. There's another inmate in the cell next door. But he's never seen him. Never spoken to him. Black Dolphin keeps inmates completely isolated, even from each other. Yuri taps on the wall. Twice. A pause. Then 2 taps back. It's not a conversation. It's just proof. Proof that someone else is there. Proof that Yuri isn't completely alone. The guards will punish him if they hear. But sometimes, the risk is worth it. Just to know another human exists. Even if it's another monster. 9 p.m. The lights never turn off. Yuri tries to sleep. But sleep is difficult in Black Dolphin. The constant light. The isolation. The silence. It drives men insane. Yuri has watched it happen. Heard inmates screaming in the night. Banging their heads against the walls. Some kill themselves. They hang themselves with torn bedsheets. Or slash their wrists with sharpened plastic. The guards find them in the morning. The bodies are removed. New inmates arrive. The cycle continues. Yuri has thought about it. Suicide. But he's too afraid. Afraid of what comes after. He doesn't believe in God. But he's terrified of hell. So he endures. Day after day. Year after year. Waiting to die. But not willing to do it himself. Yuri falls into a restless sleep. The nightmare comes. It always does. He's in the forest. Hunting. Stalking. He sees a man ahead. Homeless. Drunk. Vulnerable. Yuri approaches. The knife is in his hand. But when he gets close, the man turns. It's Yuri. He's looking at himself. The other Yuri smiles. Blood drips from his mouth. This is what you are, the other Yuri says. This is all you'll ever be. Yuri wakes with a gasp. Sweat covers his face. His heart pounds. The fluorescent light buzzes overhead. He's still in his cell. Still in Black Dolphin. The nightmare is over. But the reality is worse. 2 a.m. Yuri can't sleep. He stares at the ceiling, the water stain, the face that isn't really a face. He asks himself the question he's asked 1,000 times. Am I sorry? He thinks about his victims, their faces, their fear, their pain. He tries to feel remorse, tries to feel guilt, but there's nothing, just emptiness. The psychologist asked if he regrets his crimes. He said no. That was the truth. He doesn't regret what he did. He regrets getting caught. He regrets being here. But the murders? The cannibalism? If he was free tomorrow, would he do it again? He doesn't know. And that terrifies him more than anything. Real quick, if you're still watching this, you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Black Dolphin is one of the most extreme prisons on Earth, and I cover stories like this every single week. Drop a comment and let me know. Could you survive even one day in a place like this? Now, back to Yuri's nightmare. 4 a.m. A guard walks past Yuri's cell. He stops, looks through the small reinforced glass window in the door. Yuri is awake, sitting on his bed, staring at nothing. The guard makes a note on his clipboard. Inmate 4782. Awake. No violations. That's all Yuri is. A number. A piece of data. The guard moves on. Yuri doesn't even look up. He's used to being watched. There are cameras in every cell. Guards monitoring every moment. Privacy doesn't exist in Black Dolphin. You're never alone, but you're always isolated. 5 a.m. The buzzer sounds. Another day begins. Yuri stands. 50 push-ups. 50 sit-ups. The routine never changes. This is day 5,114 of his life sentence. He has no idea how many days are left. Maybe 10,000. Maybe 20,000. It doesn't matter. They're all the same. The same cell. The same food. The same silence. The same emptiness. Black Dolphin doesn't just imprison your body. It imprisons your mind, your soul, your humanity. Yuri Mikhaylov killed 9 people. He ate their flesh. He destroyed families, ruined lives. Does he deserve this? That's not for him to decide. The Russian government decided. Society decided. He's a monster. And monsters belong in cages. Or, in Yuri's case, in tombs. Yuri isn't alone at Black Dolphin. There are 699 other inmates, each one a monster in their own right. Andrei Chikatilo was here. The butcher of Rostov. Killed 52 people, mostly children. He was executed in 1994. But his legend lives on. Nikolai Zumagalev, the Metal Fong, killed and ate 7 women in Kazakhstan. Served here until his death in 2020. Vladimir Nikolaev, the Udmurtian maniac, killed and cannibalized 9 people. Still alive. Still in Black Dolphin. These are Yuri's neighbors. Men who've committed unspeakable acts. Men who've crossed lines most humans can't imagine. And they all live in identical cells. 6 by 9 feet. Concrete. Silence. Darkness. Waiting to die. The guards at Black Dolphin don't see themselves as cruel. They see themselves as necessary. These men are animals, one guard said in an interview. They've eaten people, raped children, blown up schools. They don't deserve humanity. The protocols, the hoods, the bent-over walks, the isolation, aren't designed to torture. They're designed to control, to prevent violence, to protect staff. But the effect is the same. Complete dehumanization. Total erasure of identity. The guards rotate every few months. Psychologists found that working at Black Dolphin too long damages the guards' mental health. They start to see all humans as monsters. They lose empathy. They become desensitized to suffering. Black Dolphin doesn't just break the inmates. It breaks everyone who works there. Human rights organizations have condemned Black Dolphin. Amnesty International calls the conditions inhuman and degrading. The United Nations says prolonged isolation constitutes torture. Russian officials disagree. These men are the worst of the worst, a government spokesman said. They've forfeited their right to humane treatment. The debate continues. Is Black Dolphin justice? Or is it revenge? Is it punishment? Or is it torture? Yuri doesn't care about the debate. He just exists, day after day, in his concrete tomb. The world has forgotten him. His victims' families have moved on. He's already dead. His body just hasn't realized it yet. Yuri is 46. The average life expectancy at Black Dolphin is 58. The isolation, the stress, the lack of sunlight, the poor diet, it kills. Yuri will probably live another 10 to 15 years. Then he'll die. Heart attack, stroke, cancer, suicide. It doesn't matter. He'll die in his cell. His body will be removed, buried in an unmarked grave outside the prison. No family will claim him. No one will mourn. And another inmate will be moved into his cell. The concrete will be cleaned. The water stain on the ceiling will still look like a face. And the cycle will continue. Because Black Dolphin doesn't stop. It doesn't change. It just continues, grinding men into dust, one day at a time. Yuri Mikhaylov has been in Black Dolphin for 21 years. He's killed and cannibalized 9 people. He will never leave. He will never see his family. He will never be forgiven. He will die in a 6x9 concrete cell, just like the 700 other monsters locked away in Russia's most brutal prison. Black Dolphin isn't designed to rehabilitate. It's designed to erase. And it's very, very good at its job. If you want more extreme prison stories like this, check out my video on ADX Florence Supermax in Colorado. It's America's version of Black Dolphin. Link on screen now. Don't forget to subscribe because I cover the darkest true crime cases every single week. And drop a comment. Does Yuri deserve this treatment? Or is this torture going too far? Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.